Culture, rituals, spells. Peace. NFOMURK, the code breaker. Right back at it. Let's get into it. Um, how's the world doing? We good? What's up? Day before my Earth Day. Feeling real good. Feeling real talkative. So, how do I want to start? Some of the stuff I want to talk about. But this inspired me to do it today. I was on the phone with my friend, and we was talking about hip hop, and I realized that us as a people who are prone to react and not necessarily uh, uh, what's the other thing? Cause and reaction. All right, we are not the cause. We're usually reacting. Because of that, we take definitions like melanin and so forth, and the titles like black and all that, and we adopt these words, right? We even adopt the words like nigga, bitch, and we try to turn these words into words of endearment, right? And I'm wondering why, as a group of people, do we take the hard route in order to show our beauty? Like, that is not how energy works. Energy takes the path of less resistance. In any form of science, when you see energy in its course, this is what makes gold optimum premium metal, because it offers a less resistance for electrical current. Copper is another one, and copper is cheaper than gold and better for the conducting of electricity than aluminum or iron. So they use copper wiring as the inside of wires, but they also have other metals, and that's the pricing and so forth, right? But you also have gold tube wires for like sound and visuals. Like it have gold tubing for HDMI cords and so forth. So not to go all the way over there, but just to give you an idea on what makes something precious and so forth. So we adorn these terms that put on us, and we hold on to them and champion these 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 words that don't mean what they readily prescribe to the controllers that put the word it did to give you. We reacting. Don't forget, we're not the one thinking and saying, and we're the one reacting to someone's thought, because that's what reacting is. Reacting is the lack of thought, and the cause is the acting of thought and being put on to something that is going to have to react to my thinking versus your absence of thinking. So, culture, right? The definition of culture, I Googled it, says the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of particular nation, people, or other social groups, right? The customs, arts, social institution, and achievements of a particular nation's, then have comma, people or other social groups, right? Not just a nation, but it could be people or other social groups that share this culture. Now, in the hip hop culture in 2020, there are the customs is murder through the art of rap. The social institutions that exist in these cultures are the record labels and the prisons, and can't forget the funeral homes, right? The achievements is obviously going to jail for some type of crime that was promoted in the imagination of the child via hip hop, which now the child now becomes a living representation of the culture of what is now being cultivated in his brain. The ritual, a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. Ritual, a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order, right? So the ritualistic behavior of us not wanting to look in, of us not wanting to claim, of us not really knowing and living the true definitions of word. So that is what wisdom is. Knowledge is the word. Wisdom is the footing behind the word. You see what I'm saying? So the spell is an attribute of ritual, right? Now, what would the spell consist of? It obviously would consist of word, because the word is spelled out. So spell and word go hand in hand. So now in the hip hop, they got some key words. Now I'm using the word hip hop very loosely. I'm not using it to my standard, my definition, and my love for hip hop. As a matter of fact, let's call it rap. And rap, masquerading as hip hop, we hear the word savage. We hear the word goon. We hear the savage, goon. What was the other term? Party like a rock star was famous at one point in time, right? So you hear people referring to their rock star lifestyle, their savages, goon, demon, right? Now, what does this does to the mind, right? When you see this as a hyper exaggeration of the term nigga. Now, there's no way we're going to use the word demon and turn it into a term of endearment. You see what I'm saying? It's no way. So now, what happens to the brain that is being told demon time, savage time, party like a rock star? You are now making your standard of health and sleep and organic lifestyle lower, because you're going to say, oh, that's how rock stars do it. They wake up and get drunk. They wake up and eat a perk. They wake up and do that. They don't even sleep. They just snort coke and keep going. They just da-da-da-da-da. That's rock star. Yeah. And when you tell a girl she's a savage, she just changed her sexual standards, and now she's more promiscuous than prescribed. And there's no way in the world when she wakes up and she has a trail of bodies behind her that somebody is going to want to make her an honest woman. It's not the way that men operate, right? So now and then there's another thing that, as I was arguing about hip hop versus rap, that it was baffling to me that we all watch The Matrix, but clearly do not understand the Matrix, right? The Matrix, in a nutshell, is information, right? The information is beneficial to the organic, and when it is passed off to the artificial, it now becomes a weapon against the organic. So now KRS-One, in his when he was in love with hip hop, he got on the podium. This is also, you can Google this when you type in the meaning of hip hop on your regular. I think I binged it, right? They had a quote from KRS-One under the hip hop versus rap, and KRS-One quoted and said, "Rap is something you do. Hip hop is something you live." Now, when he said that, that went into the ears of the devil, and the devil now make sure that he will finance and give incentive to people to masquerade in a way that would be detrimental to the people in which he does not like, and therefore benefiting him all over the map, right? So now when you look at that, let's take a look at that real quick. Everything that let me see. Oh, here's the sinister part of it all. That music is an attribute of the devil, right? So the music is polluting your child's mind, right? The key thing about your child, the biggest thing every human possesses is his or her imagination. So when the devil approaches the child, he approaches the child with hopes to pervert its imagination, so that by the time the child, because what's on your mind, your hand will carry out. So when the child is now trying to figure out who or he or she is, and you're hearing savage, and you're hearing goon, you're hearing demon, and you encounter a problem, and it was rapping about guns, it was rapping about this, it was rapping about that, and your brain would instantly like resort to that like you did it before, because your imagination has been tainted by the devil, who has been using people who look like you but who are not in favor of you, and they're sitting here telling you that they are in favor of you, but nothing is promoting that favorism. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's no music, there's no dancing when a mother loses her son or daughter to gun violence. There's nothing glorious. There's no, matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. There's nothing more painful than to hear a mother cry over her loss of a child, untimely. And you know what would even aggravate her more, as if when this gun violence just freshly happened, hot blood on the street, and she's over there crying over the baby, and a car ride by, and it's playing some old bullshit. You ever stood on top of Op and knock his dreads off? See that? The imagination? You ever stood on top of Op and knock his dreads off? You not even letting my imagination see my Op as a white person. You letting me see a dreadhead. And this is your melanin worth more than gold? And when it is, it's only because you will destroy it for profit. That is the spell. That is now you got culture, ritual, spell, and the people are acting out, are under their spell. They're cast a spell onto your child, and now your child is acting in a possessed manner to benefit the culture. It's a parasite and host. It's a pimp and whore relationship going on here. And the only time a pimp doesn't like the whore is when the whore know that she ain't a whore no more. You did? Alright. Don't let these people fool you. They practice one thing and they say one thing and practice a whole nother thing. On other videos, I said you cannot find a good one. Pick one. You can't find one. And look at Vlad. Look at how Vlad is conducting the turmoil in which he's in. Look at the arrogance in which he will show. He misquoted somebody. If it was a genuine misquote, it should be no problem for a genuine apology. But the fact that you are not apologizing shows that your misquote was a direct ID clear war. You understand? And now all these Negroes that were mounted, willingly being mounted, coming up there freely, smiling and laughing, is now acting like they upset and want to now air out the dirty laundry. Well, I'm very glad that they did it. I'm not mad. I understand. And it's about time for a new day. And it ain't just Vlad, it's every single one of them. I need you to hear them like I hear them. I need you to hear them like I hear them. Yeah, I said it right. I need you to hear them like I hear them. When I hear a politician, when I hear Trump, Giuliani, Fossey, Gates, any of them say black community, black people, it sounds like a derogatory term. It sounds like he just cursed on the airway. I felt insulted. I feel like he means me no good from the time he labeled us black. The code has changed, just like how we changed the name from 5-0 to Fuzz to 12 to whatever name. They changed names for us. Niggas, insurgents, and immigrants, inmates, subjects, the name, people of color, Negro, all of that, urban. Understand the lingo. They don't mean you no good, never have, never will. Wake up. Why are we voting? When is voting ever going to change? How did the white man, did he vote his way into America? No. Did Japan vote their way into China? No. Did any of the conquering companies vote their way into anything? No. It's a hostile takeover. You move in silence. We move in solidarity. We know what we're doing. I love you because you look like me, and we on it. Peace.